Well, good evening. Can we hear that in all language that you guys presented at the project presentation? I remember the list was about 20 different languages. So let's say all those different languages at once, and I say again, good evening. Welcome to the New American Leadership Academy class of 2022 closing ceremony. We're glad that you and your families, members of the alumni, were able to join us to celebrate the successful completion of the New American Leadership Academy 2022 cohort. In Columbus, we found early on that as the capital city of the 14th largest city in the United States and the fastest growing in the Midwest, that our growing immigrant and the new American communities bring a valuable talent and contribution. So we're glad that the city of Columbus adopted early on a welcoming policy that focused on inclusion, advocacy, and empowerment, and the new American community represent. And we appreciate the leadership of the city of Columbus. And the New American Leadership Academy is a leading example of the deliberate effort of our leadership to empower our communities. I would like to thank our leaders, the Department of Neighborhoods leadership team, Director Carla Williams Scott, Deputy Director Todd Diffenderfer, the team, staff, and the city partners for their contribution and assistance. We will have a very short program this evening, but we'd like to kick it off to start with, we have a small number of speakers in the agenda, but I would like to invite someone that we all consider as the chief advocate of inclusion and empowerment and integration in our community, who has made the New American Leadership Academy possible. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome our Director Carla Williams Scott.
Well, good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here with you. Did anybody see those snowflakes coming in? I am not ready for that. I'm just going to tell you right now. But it is a pleasure to be here with you to recognize our 16 NALA Fellows for completing the 2022 New American Leadership Academy program. Can we give them a round of applause? I, along with your family, friends, and the entire Department of Neighborhoods team, congratulate you. I'd like to recognize our NALA alumni for their continued support and for joining us today, both in person and virtually. And if we have any NALA alumni here, can you please stand? I know, I'm calling you out because I see you back there. Thank you. It is wonderful to have them here to welcome the 2022 class of to the NALA alumni family. The Department of Neighborhoods works closely with residents and community leaders from across the city. We know that the New American community possesses exceptional skills and talents that are enhancing cultural diversity and helping all of our neighborhoods thrive. As highlighted in your service project presentation, the latest U.S. Census shows how increased diversity in our community has a positive impact on our neighborhoods and our economy. The 16 fellows here this evening clearly illustrate this positive impact of New Americans on Columbus. You speak over 20 different languages and represent 12 different nations. 90% of the class holds university degrees, including 6 master's degrees, 2 PhDs, 1 JD, and 1 MD. I'm feeling a bit like an underachiever here after reading all that. Might need to go back to school. Professionally, the members of the class of 2022 work in education, government, healthcare, public policy, training and development, language and communications, social services, and insurance. Excuse me. This is in addition to, I am sure, your many personal and community commitments. I would like to recognize and congratulate all of the fellows for the contribution that you've made to our community with your service project. You helped advance the education of our new American youth by providing resources and knowledge about leadership development opportunities. Your work through MBK, my brother's keeper, and the Global Academy is encouraging our young people to take action and be civically engaged. And for those of you family members that are not aware of what that project is, we have a school here in Columbus that's part of Columbus City Schools, the Global Academy. And it has always been my hope to make sure that we have young people involved in this process. So we have started NALA Junior with sophomores, freshmen, sophomores, and juniors at the Columbus Global Academy. Your efforts were impactful, and we greatly appreciate your leadership and contribution. It has been a pleasure for me and my team to work with you over the past 8 months. It is my hope and our expectation that each of you will use this experience to uplift your respective communities and Columbus as a whole. Congratulations again, and I look forward to continuing to work with you. It is also thanks to the leadership of Mayor Ginther that the New American Leadership Academy is possible. Unfortunately, the mayor was not able to join us in person this evening because he is attending the Transatlantic Mayoral Dialogue on Preventing Hate, Extremism, Polarization, and Safeguarding Our Local Democracy in The Hague, Netherlands. Earlier today, on behalf of all the mayors in North America, Mayor Ginther signed a mayoral declaration that made clear the importance of all citizens, especially our young people, becoming actively involved in our community. We would now like to share a short video, special video message of congratulations from the mayor for you.
Congratulations to the 2022 cohort of the New American Leadership Academy. Each of you is stepping forward at a critical time for our city. We're growing by leaps and bounds. The national and global spotlights keep finding their way back to Columbus, highlighting all we have achieved despite recent years of hardship and uncertainty. We're at the leading edge of innovation, collaboration, and forward-leading enterprises. We are, without a doubt, a beacon of light and hope for cities looking to navigate beyond the pandemic and forge a recovery that is robust and resilient. There is tremendous opportunity in Columbus. But as we continue to grow and change and evolve, we must not lose sight of our commitment to diversity, to equity, to inclusion. We draw great strength from our differences. We celebrate that which makes us unique. We recognize the power of a dynamic and welcoming culture. As leaders, your task now is what it will always be, what it has always been, and that is to use your connections, your passion, and your knowledge to make a positive difference. We cannot reach our full potential as a city unless every family shares in the Columbus success story. That's why I do what I do, why we think about equity the way we do, the reason why I work every day to improve quality of life for our community. And with each of you at the forefront of our efforts, I know we will prevail. Thank you for leading by example and for taking your leadership journey to the next level. By collaborating closely with one another, I am confident we will build a brighter, safer, and more prosperous future together.
Again, thank you all, and I'm so excited to be here celebrating with you, and I will turn the podium back over to my friend Abdi Sofi.
Thank you, Director. So this is we started the program in 2018, and this class of 2022 will join a large family of nation, we call it, of NALA alumni. a growing nation that is so diverse, but tight family of community of advocates. Our next guest is alumni, a member of 2019. She has so many hats that she makes difference, and because of different roles she play. Her name is Zardania Carmona Tongo. She's the CEO and co-founder of a number of different organizations, but most importantly, she's a wife, a mother of 4, entrepreneur, a community organizer. She's a Dominican Republic national who resided in Central Ohio for over 20 years. As an entrepreneur and business owner, she provides employment opportunity for so many residents in Columbus. In addition of her strong advocacy, she has supported and inspired hundreds of minority small business owners. She is an organizer and community engagement coordinator for the Liberian Community Inc. of Columbus. She has led a successful community engagement where a project that she coordinates for marketing of $1.5 million were raised to develop a community center. Without further ado, please help me. It is my pleasure to invite Zari Carmona, a member of NALA Alumni 2019.
Hello, everybody. We're not ready for this weather today, are we? But we're here, and we're so glad to be here. I'm so excited to see NALA doing what NALA does best, which is empower each and every one of us to be the best leader that we can be within our community. I would like to take this time to extend my greetings to Director William Scott, all the NALA leadership, including Mr. Todd back there, Abdi, fellow NALA alumni, the 2020 graduating class, ladies and gents, thank you. I take this opportunity to thank the Department of Labor, NALA Project Coordinator, and the 2022 Fellows for selecting me as your special guest. The opportunity humbles me. I want to start by congratulating our 2022 NALA Fellows. Let us all give them a hand and a standing ovation. May I use this platform to personally thank the administration for being farsighted in designing a program that has developed and built so many new American leaders who are on the front line every day, partnering with the city to positively impact the lives of its residents. Many new American families come to the United States under the unique circumstances, hoping to experience life of freedom and pursuit of happiness for themselves and for their families. Our stories and journeys are different. Our challenges may cross paths, but we all have things in common now. We are residents of a welcoming city. Can I say that again? A very welcoming city. NALA is an example of how welcoming our city is to us, and for that we thank you all. A city that ensures we all have equal opportunities for social, civic, and economic success. My sister and I migrated to the United States via Puerto Rico in 1993 with our father. In 2022, my sister and I relocated to Columbus, Ohio, seeking better opportunities to attend school while working full-time since the age of 16. Today, I can proudly say that I'm a successful new American business owner. I am the proud mother of 4 wonderful children, and I am the wife of one of the best community organizers I know today, and a NALA alum, Mr. Alpha Tunger. Thank you. I am a proud fellow of NALA 2019 cohort. My experiences at NALA was amongst the best in my professional career. I had the opportunity to meet some of our community bright minds. From my classmates to the speakers we engaged, the lectures were outstanding, offering real-life leadership development and civic engagement scenarios to be applied practically. Amongst the many topics, the value and ideology of the Columbus Way stuck with me and changed my outlook and perspective when it comes to community engagement. And what is the Columbus Way, some people will say? The Columbus Way is the practice of community stewardship anchored by values and principles that power process in our region. Its fundamental value are ambition, collaboration, fellowship, inclusivity, and common ground. So often, our new American communities remain in their comfort zone, reluctant to engage with other residents and organizations. As a result, we fail to explore the full potential and opportunities the region has to offer. Prior to NALA, I too was one of these community leaders. I remained in my comfort box, did not attend events, rarely attended events outside of my community, and was not really open to partnering with organizations outside of my circle. However, that changed when I understood that to experience the city's full potential, you must do it the Columbus way. Let me briefly share how these values have impacted my leadership perspective. First, I allowed myself to be unapologetically ambitious. It gave me a strong desire to achieve more for myself and my community. With hard work and determination, I always tell my story to whoever would like to listen. Most that know me know that. Second, I'm open to collaboration, developing private and public partnerships that foster unity and community development. I appreciate working with other individuals or organizations that are not only New American, as long as we create a space that positively impacts the city. For example, when LICI, Liberians in Columbus, Ohio, conducted the need assessment to develop its community center, we immediately had conversations with the city council members, House Representative District 2, Primary 1, and other stakeholders to create private and public partnership for this project. Third, the ability to fellowship with others, residents, and organizations to create non-discriminatory bond that keep us together for the good of the city. Fourth, inclusivity. Whether you are a New American, an African American, or a Caucasian, we must be inclusive in all that we do. For example, we must open community organizations to residents and assign them leadership roles. I believe that no group should be marginalized. And fifth, the common good. It is all about what benefits people. Yes, we are New Americans. However, we owe it to our leaders representing our communities to look out for what benefits the city and its residents, not only the New American community, but the city at large. NALA class of 2022. I want to encourage you all that as we lead our communities, let us all remember the Columbus way and help our community organizations develop and build capacity so that we can be good stewards of this region. Finally, I leave you with the NALA pledge that was created by the NALA cohort of 2020. I pledge and state today that I will lead honorably and remain steadfast to deeds that promote growth and development of all human persons, no matter what, in the American way that enables freedom, hope, so help me God. Congratulations.
Can you please give her another round of applause? Thank you so much, Zari. That was amazing. That was wonderful. Now, we have a tradition at NALA that each cohort elects and votes for their class speaker. The NALA 2022 has not one but two speakers to share their experience. The first speaker today is Elizabeth Adebayo, a Nigerian American who has called Columbus home for 21 years. As a young professional, Ms. Adebayo plans to use her experience from NALA to advance and advocate for improved social and economic stability for New American families. Elizabeth intends to become involved in her neighborhood, area commissions, civic associations, and want to make a difference to advocate her community. She often quotes the famous Yoruba proverb that says the ram that moves backwards does so to bring more power. And the power it is, and with that energy she brought even with the NALA, where she helped even facilitate some of the group sessions, conversations, helped lead the service project. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Elizabeth Adebayo.
All right. Hi, how's everyone doing? Good, good, good. I want to first start off by properly giving you my full name in honor of my family and tradition. My name is Elizabeth Oluwadamilola Ajike Temitope Ainke Aluko Adebayo. I cannot forget where I'm from, actually, because I was born on the Independence Day of my country, October 1st, but in 1991. So, in honor of that, it is so important to me to remember that I am not only American, but I am Nigerian American. And it is an honor to be in the room with so many people of varying backgrounds who are not just American, but they are everything else that builds them up to be who they are in addition to their American culture. So congratulations for you guys. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't want to do this speech. I didn't want to do it for a couple of reasons, mainly one being I'm in awe of the people that I've worked with over this year. I'm honored to be with them, to hear their perspective, just to hear what their thoughts are on how we can improve our community. And I just thought the fact that I was even counted to be up here to speak was like, why? Just why? Originally, when I was told about this program, I was told by the president of NIDO, which is a Nigerian association here, Bukola, the president, said, hey, you can do this. And I was like, no, I don't like politics. And so he was like, no, but it's civic engagement. And I was actually a part of the protest in 2020 for the End SARS movement that we started here in Columbus. And so I knew he saw something in me. I guess I just didn't quite see it fully in myself. Or really, just better yet, I just didn't want to be a part of politics. That was just the thing. Like, but community, I can do. Collective, I can do. People, I care about. Politics, not so much, you know. And I was like, well, it's a new American thing. I've been here since like 1994. And they were like, well, no, you're Nigerian American. You know, your perspective that you have, even though I was born in Nigeria, I grew up here, so I identify as a first-gen American. And truth be told, I'm the product of what my parents came through, their generation of coming to this country, working so hard. Some of them who had PhDs and master's degrees and bachelor's degrees, but chose to come to this country to start at a much lower level employment-wise because they figured that they could go forward farther if they let the next generation do so. And I am that next generation, so truly it's an honor to be a first-generation American or a first-generation Nigerian American. My perspective on my peers, my goodness, since day one, we had opinions, but that just weren't opinions. They were opinions with substance. We had, whenever we thought we had a conclusion, you had someone like Babs who was gonna be like, hold on. But what does that mean though? Because you know, there's always more than one interpretation. And then I felt like this nurturing spirit from Trish, which was just like, she would just gather. That's what she did. Was what I see in her is a woman who is a queen, who is a leader, who is just empowering, who gathers the herd. That was what I felt when I was in your presence. And truly and honestly, I could go on and on, but we would be here forever. But I just want to say, like, this cohort, watch out. Just watch out. Please clear the way. And when I say clear the way, I mean get with us, because we're going forward, right? My main takeaways from being in this program is, instead of looking up, look around you. I think a lot of times when people come into this country, when we all come here, whether you're an immigrant or you come from a minority background where you don't feel like you have as much empowerment, we're looking up. We're looking at the person who has power, quote unquote, right? But the reality is if we look around, truly and honestly, that's where you see the power. That's where you see the collective, is in the diversity that sits amongst you. And that is something that I believe this program does, is it's to remind people that, yes, you have leadership that you voted for, but truly and honestly, the change that you want to see is actually amongst the people who are your neighbors, the people who live across from you, who live on the other side of town as you. You don't have to wait to actually be able to say, hey, I need to speak to the mayor to get something done. The truth is, we need to speak together and go to the mayor to get something done. And I truly believe that NALA was a reminder for me of that. Another thing that I felt like I took away from this program, which has been quite big for me this year as a theme, was hold off on your narrative. And what do I mean by that? I think a lot of times it's easy to assume you know someone just because you've seen someone like them. It's easy to assume you understand why they think the way they think because maybe you've heard a perspective similarly. But hold off on your narrative. Let them finish what they have to say all the way through. Because you might be surprised to find out that their reasoning for why they believe what they believe is so particular to that experience that it's different than what you might have heard before. And even if it is the same, the reality is they are different. They are not like everyone else. So why must we always just assume that we know so much about each other when truly we haven't even had dinner with each other, right? So I took that in being in this program of just saying, just hold off. Don't assume you know what Bumi's gonna say about something. Don't assume you know what Katuma's gonna say, because I mean, she's regal. So I'm assuming she's gonna come up and say something that is just going to be a perspective I already knew. But the truth was, she brought so much content and substance because of her life experiences. And that for me was enough to say, hold off and let people finish. Something else that I really, truly feel empowered by is the power of grace and what happens when you give it, pass it over to the next person. You know, we always try to say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Yeah, but the truth is, if you ask me, a lot of us live our lives in color while judging others in black and white, and we don't even know when we do it. We think we're giving grace, but the truth is we're not. We think we're allowing people to be themselves, but the reality is we really have cut them short. It takes time. Building emotional equity with people is how you get to know them. Not just what they do, but who they are. Get to know who they are by who their family is. Get to know who they are by understanding what they're passionate about. Get to know what their fears are, if they are even letting you have the honor to hear it. So please, 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 that's something I learned, and I hope that everyone can take from that too, is the power of grace truly empowers others to have the confidence to make change when they feel safe around you. My perspective of the importance of getting to know each other in this community is really big to me. But I've had to learn to really allow other people to speak and let their voices be heard over the course of time. I didn't quite necessarily just learn that at NALA, but I was really adamant about being aware of that. I think sometimes when people hear me, they assume, okay, she may be well-spoken, so let her speak. Or she presents well, right? So let's put her on the forefront. But a part of the reason why I didn't want to do this speech was because I don't think that I'm the person that actually should always be heard. I actually think that instead of finding representatives that look like me, who sound like me, check our biases and understand that it's actually the person whose accent you probably don't understand that well that you probably should be listening to. It's probably the person who hasn't been here as long as I have that you probably should be listening to. It's probably the individual who just 100%, you're just thinking, I don't think we have anything in common. I would implore you, take some time to listen to that person. Not because I don't have anything important to say, but I think that what you'll find is that what they have to say that's so different can be so impactful to the movement that we're all trying to move forward with. We just recently had elections, as you guys know. I hope everybody voted. Whoop, whoop. I will be honest with you. I didn't want to vote. And I will say that embarrassingly. But I understood that in this life, if I don't mess with politics, politics is still gonna mess with me. So I did my research, of course, and I went to the polls, voted a little early before I left for London, came back from London this past Monday, and I must say, there's nothing, nowhere, like the United States of America, okay? They're nice places, beautiful places. But what I think is the something about this place that's so beautifully interwoven is that we have no choice but to mess up to get it right. We have no choice but to fail forward. In other places where the majority of people look alike, sound alike, it's easy to use tradition to create new rules. But in this land, we have no choice because we did not grow up together. Our families did not grow up together. Our ancestors did not grow up together. So we have no choice but to say we have to make new rules and new laws that don't just make room for me, but they make room for you as well. And that is the beauty of this country. And I hope that we can remember that moving forward. Things are looking real, for lack of better terms, ghetto out there. They are. But I do have hope, I do have faith that through civic engagement, like I said, not looking up, but looking left and looking right, that is how we're going to create the future that we want to see. I promise, because I know when they say, right, the Yoruba proverb, if I want to go fast, go alone. But if I want to go far, go together. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. That beautiful remarks. Would you please give her another applause? Elizabeth Adebayo Damilala. Did I say it right? Thank you. Our second speaker of NALA 2022 cohort is a young man who is a passionate, quite humble, very technical, helped the New American Leadership Academy 2022 cohort a great deal as far as technical assistance, always there, a world traveler. One day he will be in Pakistan, the next day in Netherlands, the next day. He, in fact, flew from Minnesota this morning. Timer Chandri is a Pakistani American who was born and raised right here in Columbus, Ohio, graduated the Ohio State University, has worked and is still working in the reinsurance climate industry for the past 4 years. He, like I said, traveled extensively, both professionally and personally. His favorite travel experience was when he interned with the U.S. State Department Embassy in Mozambique. He participated in NALA 2022 cohort and intends to make a huge difference in our community in Central Ohio. He brought with him, with his whole clan, sitting right there in the back. Please help me welcome Timer Chandri.
Hey there. So, Abdi, thank you. The Department of Neighborhoods, the city for putting this on. You know, it's really been an amazing program for me, for the entire cohort. And I think, you know, every U.S. city should have something similar to this. So it's a great initiative. You know, personally, I was really excited to be a part of it, both to develop, you know, professionally and learn more about the city, but also, you know, really to interact with this cohort. And I think that's really where the real value was. So, you know, and becoming friends with many of them. So, you know, one of the views that I think, you know, I have and you know, I guess, you know, they've thrown some numbers out in terms of, you know, new Americans and immigrants economic impact on the city and, contributions to the tax base and whatnot. But, I definitely do feel that new Americans and immigrants are really what is propelling a lot of, this city forward and, the country on a whole, And so I don't really know if you can capture that energy and that, dynamism and, the willingness to kind of take risks and have different opinions and viewpoints on things. But, I got to see that firsthand with this group here. And so I thought that was really, really powerful for me. It was really potent. So, they've said it before, but there's PhDs here, a lot of really highly educated people, and business owners, community advocates. Really, it's a special group. So, I think, it's a kind of a contract, that the cities have with their citizens, right? And so, from this city, Columbus, is really lucky to have such people in it really contributing to it. But also, I think in a lot of ways, we're lucky to have a city that has programs such as this and is definitely open to new Americans, new communities, and has a focus and is building out the infrastructure for those communities to succeed. So, yeah, it was phenomenal. I'd encourage everyone to apply if you have friends or family that are interested. I think the deadline's on Friday, so thank you all.
Thank you. You should have seen him work and facilitate conversations. Humble but really amazing leader. Would you please give him another round of applause? At this time, and I'm going to move, maybe this might not be moving too far away, but please help me invite the NALA 2022 cohort to join the director and the deputy director for the awards presentation. So I think this is not going to, is this okay if I move a little bit? Fine, okay. We need the logo. Elizabeth Damalila Adebayo.
Damilola, thank you.
Thank you. Alabumni Adekambi. Darcy Amaya. Barbara Burden. Timur Jondri. Mukti Dahal. Hannah Duale. I was corrected, that's Dr. Hannah Douali.
We'll get it back later.
Mark Frequer. Ramla Fiqi. Dr. Tanisha Brute. Patricia Kwate. Kaltuma Sheikh. Last but not the least is Rokia Wise. Thank you. We have 3 other fellows who have an engagement. Wanted to give them a shout out. I couldn't make it today. Diego Canejo, who have an emergency family travel. Yadu Batrai, who tested COVID today, who couldn't be here, as well as Mr. Bernard Harris, who has also emergency family traveling. And if I move this back, keep with me. All right. With that, I wanted to, while the leadership book's being passed out, so, fellas, I wanted, in conclusion, wanted to share that in my communications with the NALA team, I often reference my email communications, Dear NALA family. I believe we're family because we're community, colleagues, and we became friends. We have worked together over 8 months, and you have been there for each other, supported one another during the discussion on your service project, brainstorming ideas, processing information, and I have certainly learned a great deal from you as well, as you brought important perspective and ideas to the sessions. As the director said earlier, your recommendation in the service project presentation is a prime example of your talent, wisdom, and the value you bring to our community. And with your leadership, advocacy, and civic participation, our community will be better served and represented. We appreciate the time and energy that you have invested in this program and your dedication and contribution as well. I certainly hope that you will collaborate as some of the sessions we had in strategic collaborations, and as the speakers of Elizabeth and Tamer mentioned, collaborating and working together as a team makes great difference, as no one reaches far, as Elizabeth put it so eloquently. I would like to conclude a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We may have all come in different ships, but we are all in the same boat. So as we work together on caring and collaborative effort to strengthen our community, please know that we're here at the Department of Neighborhood is here for you as a reliable partner and supporter of the effort that you will be engaging in. And together, we will make our communities and neighborhoods a stronger city to live, to work, and to raise a family. And now I would like to invite the NALA 2022 cohort to join the Deputy Director again and the Director William Scott for a photo opportunity first, and then followed by family members and your friends to take photos. And we will conclude with a special present brought to us by your cohort, NALA 2022. Ms. Rukia Weiss brought a special gift on the table right there, and we will have that. It has the Department of Neighborhoods and NALA logo on it, and you will all see, and that's where we will conclude. But at this time, please join Director William Scott.
Thanks, Abdi. I just wanted to share with you, and I don't know if you saw when you came in, the lobby downstairs, the display that's downstairs is in partnership with the YWCA, and it's called Undesign the Red Line. And it talks about the history of redlining and racist practices in the city of Columbus. I would encourage you, if you have the opportunity, it's a self-guided exhibit, and to take a look at it. And it just goes to show why we do some of the work that we do in the Department of Neighborhoods through our neighborhood and community planning. So I would encourage you to do that. And if you don't get an opportunity to do it today, it will be here through Thanksgiving. And then the exhibit's going to move around. Abdi, what is it, throughout 2023? It'll move around to different places, and we'll make sure to send that website out to you, because I would encourage you. And one of the exhibit, we had a kickoff last Thursday, a week ago tonight, and one of the alumni from, I'm not sure which class Cesar was in. 2019. Cesar Bravo is on the Zoning Advisory Committee, because the mayor has put together with our development department community representatives to help update the city's zoning code so that we can truly have a city that reflects the diversity that we have. So if you get an opportunity, please take a look at it. And I think somebody from the group has something I want to share. Okay, thank you.
Hello, everybody. I would love for all my cohorts to join me up here if possible. And so we stand here as a family to actually honor a mentor. Abdi has been a brother, a father, and he has actually been there for us throughout those 8 months. He's looked out for us. He will check on you when you are not responding, and he will make sure that that email is replied to. And so the cohort decided to award or appreciate him for all that he did for us. And so it says that this is an appreciation award to Abdi Sophie in recognition and appreciation of your outstanding dedication, commitment, and support of our fellowship cohort. Thank you for all that you do. And so, Abdi, if you want to please come up. We really appreciate you. And so we do not want you to forget about us. And so anytime you see this, please remember the 2022 cohort. We are still a family. And we won't forget about you.
Thank you, Abdi.
Thank you, Abdi.
Don't cry.
I really don't know what to say. I think I'm being set up. You guys knew all this? I'm looking at my director, and, but thank you so much. Now, let's go back to business and move this out.
That's what I was saying. Thank you.